I am currently watching this movie. I just finished the movie though. I'm watching this movie called Every Breath You Take. Um, the last movie I watched was so crazy. Um, so this girl, well, I'm about to make lunch in a minute. I'm procrastinating on whether I should or not because I made him some waffles and sausages today, and he didn't eat it. I made him some pancakes yesterday, and he didn't eat it. I don't know if I should make lunch his grilled cheese, and he'll waste that as well, or should I make chicken for dinner so he can waste that as well. But I don't know where I'm at on the map with that. But I would. That's my plan. My plan was to make his grilled cheese, but he hasn't touched his breakfast. But anyways, I am watching this movie currently. But I just finished watching this last movie, and I'm just like, wow, it was so depressing. It was so depressing because, um, so this girl, she had like some type of sleep disorder, and she had got prescribed for depression. Um, she had got prescribed for depression some prescription medicine, and I guess it made her worse, so to speak. I'm gonna say so to speak because in the end I found out that it was all, you know, yeah. So yeah, she had a sleep disorder, and she wound up her I guess her boyfriend wound up getting out of jail, and she really loved him to the point where um, they got married, and as soon as they got married, her as soon as they got married, he wound up going to prison. That's like immediately, like the police showed up at the end of their wedding session. So after they got married, he went to prison. Then her life went on, but it's like her life took a turn right when he got out of prison. I want to say, but it could have happened before that. I think I don't know, she was seeing one psychiatrist, this woman psychiatrist, and they wind up hitting it off. Um, but I don't know if her husband that got out of jail was in the middle of what she had going on currently, to where she felt like she needed to get him out the picture. That might have been what it was because she fell for the girl, but at the same time, I'm kind of confused because the whole movie was about her. She was depression, she had sleep apnea, and it just made sense. It was making sense on how everything was going until it stopped making sense. So her psychiatrist wound up prescribing her this medication because she had ran her car into a wall. She ran her car into a wall, and the what's it called? The freaking bag, the airbag, wound up saving her. As many times as I got into an accident, the airbag never saved me. I never had a freaking airbag pop out of the vehicle. Not saying I got in a lot of accidents, just a couple accidents when I had my car a while back, years ago. But I never had like the airbag pop out. Like if one time ran, I think I hit one car once, and then my recent accident, well, 2 years ago, I flipped my car and I never had an airbag. But yeah, I was thinking about that when that happened. So she wound up getting on these prescription medicines because he said basically she was suicidal because of that. And then she ran to him again because she caught herself at the train station kind of zoning out to the point where she wanted to fall in front of the train. And somebody caught her. So then she went and got on prescriptions for sleep because they thinking that, she's more violent in her sleep, the fact that she walks in her sleep. So then one night, like her husband was a good man. Her husband seemed like he was a good man. But yeah, he was always coming home. Like he was like so happy to be with her, but she wasn't. She'd been depressed ever since he returned home. Um, that's what I was kind of thinking in my mind. I'm like, yeah, this is all because he's depressed. I mean, she's depressed. She's more so depressed about her situation. It's not really depression, you know. It's not this depression. Just seems like it goes it's around the fact that he's there. That's what it seemed like. Like when they was having sex, making love, she was just like that the whole time. Like, and then so then um, one night he came home and he was yelling for her like, I heard that you were leaving or something like that. Like he was kind of confused coming in trying to get answers from her, and she was just sitting there, chopping up the dinner for food. I mean the food for dinner, and he walked in like kind of like, why didn't you answering me? Like I'm calling your name. And she turned and she stabbed him twice in the chest, once inside of his stomach, once in his chest, and I think a couple times in his back, and he wound up falling out and dying. Um, so then she got admitted, and well, first she was in jail, and then she wound up going into psych ward. And her her psychiatrist kept visiting her because he wanted to figure out what was going on. Like, he just knew something wasn't right, and everybody like, we're past this, the case is closed, this and that. Time to move on. You lost your job. It affected your job because the medicine that he prescribed her was medicine that had he didn't know, but previously this medicine had an effect on 2 other people that killed their family members in their sleep. So he didn't know this, but he was also saying that she prescribed him this medicine. Well, she looked it up for him. His client looked it up for him. He just prescribed it to her. So, they wound up. So, everybody is on his back because, like I said, he lost his company and stuff like that. He was a bad look on their end, so they had to let him go. Um, so then his, so then he wound up going to visit her in a psych ward just to kind of get some clarity on his end. He needed some clarity, so he took his camera and stuff, got footage of her, and him testing her. So he was giving her this medicine that will kind of jog her memory to like speak on the truth. He said it might cause you a little bit, dizziness and this and that, but it will basically make you tell the truth. And then like she was kind of concerned. She was like, well, what if it doesn't? What if it makes me say something that's not true? I'm kind of skeptical, but he said it won't. If you said something that you don't mean to say, I'll delete the footage. I'll scrap it or I'll break it. And she said, okay. So he wanted to take this footage of her, and she was telling her about how she was so obsessed with this guy and this and that. And this guy that she was obsessed with wasn't her husband. She had like a crush on this guy, and he was trying to see if she killed another man previously. So he was like, well, did you kill this guy before? Like, did you kill this guy that you was obsessed with? She's like, no, I left him. Why would I kill him? So he didn't get any confession of her killing somebody previously because I'm thinking that he thought she was a serial killer and it was some type of pattern, but it wasn't. So then he took the footage to one of his coworkers or one of his managers, thinking that it would help him get back into, prescribing medicine, internal medicine, in the medical field or something like that. So he wound up getting called crazy by his coworker because, for one, you're still working on a patient that isn't your patient anymore, and you're not in the field, to do any of this. And it's kind of, you could get arrested for what you're doing because you're not working through us anymore. Well, not really because, hold on. Yeah, because she hadn't been released, but he was still her doctor, but he wasn't through them anymore. That's what I'm kind of confused about. Like, how is he still visiting? That's what I was confused. I'm like, how is he still visiting her and all this other stuff if he's not a part of the company anymore? How is he still medically treating her? How is he still seeing her? Because the judge said, the judge already knew that he was still seeing her. Because when she got released, he spoke on her behalf that the only way she'd be released if she continued to take the medicine. So I'm just kind of confused about that because, yeah. So I'm confused. I was kind of confused about that. But so the medicine. So the stuff that he gave her was actually salt water. It wasn't medicine. So he was trying to tell them that she's a liar. Like, a lot of the stuff that she said was lying, and a lot of the stuff that she said actually stuck with him and had him feeling some type of way, kind of concerned on her behalf. And when he found out she was lying, he was like kind of hurt and feeling, that his client was disloyal or dishonest. Like, you can tell he's kind of really committed about his job, and he's just trying to look out for her. But if you're lying to me, how can I help you? So that's kind of how he felt. But then she explained herself a little bit, but this wasn't until later on when she confessed that her and the woman, her other psychiatrist, the woman, her and that psychiatrist was intimate, and the psychiatrist wound up falling for her. And they got, they were sharing stories and getting close and this and that. So she confessed this to him. But then, so she confessed this to him, but it didn't change anything because I guess he still had that, bad feeling about her. He was like, so why should I let you go? And she was like, well, maybe, it's another deal or something else that can, help you. And I guess he took that to the head. Was like, all right, I'm going to let you go. So he wound up getting her, leaving. He wound up speaking on her behalf when she was released from the psychiatric hospital. And she wound up putting the other girl in jail. So she got the other girl in jail because she went in there and she seen her after everything was done. She put a recorder on the back of her, that it was involved with the police to get a confession from a woman that, they was together, but she was kind of, she had a part of keeping her in the psych ward just so that she wouldn't speak up and that she wasn't, and that she was kind of using her treatment against her in a way of, taking her freedom and keeping her in the psych ward just for her advantage. when she didn't need to be in there. But then, and she killed her boyfriend on purpose as well, because it was all a part of the psychiatrist and her plan. They had a plan, to get him out the picture, and she wound up killing him. But I don't think she was supposed to land in a psych ward. I think she was supposed to, she wasn't supposed to go down for it. So she wound up telling all this, and she was like, I faked the tears, it's something about being angry and sadness that you can't tell where the tears was coming from. So she was really angry, but she was acting like she was sad when she was telling the police to come get her husband. So she planned the murder. So she went, like I said, she wound up getting released because the judge and stuff didn't know that, but he knew that, and he was planning, he was keeping his mouth shut, just, because they had some type of orchestrated some type of, deal to where, I'm gonna let you out, but at the same time, that type of, they had like an arrangement. So she wound up leaving. She wound up going back to the psych ward. She wound up leaving the psych ward and then going back to the psych ward because when she, like I said, okay, so I'm backtracking. Okay, so she went to jail. The girl went to jail. She got her into jail, and I don't know why she really did that. Well, I guess because she was working with the guy, and she felt like she couldn't trust the girl anymore because of what she was doing with the dude. But at the same time, she didn't know that the lady was actually trying to tell. She thought they was both trying to keep her into the psych ward, but they wasn't. One of them, the lady was actually trying to get her released. That's what she didn't know. But she thought they both were trying to keep her in there. But yeah, the guy was planning on keeping her in there because he was kind of confused. The girl was trying to release her because she actually had feelings for her. So she wound up getting released, and she came out not knowing what happened and got her put in jail. And the girl was just like, "What? Like, what are you doing?" So she got her put away. The man wound up. He was about to put her on some medicine, and he knew that she wasn't sick or anything, but he prescribed this medicine just to get back at her for all the trouble that she caused, because he was a good man and he was only doing his job, but she made everything fall for him. Like, he lost his wife, he lost his son, because the woman psychiatrist that was helping the client wound up sending pictures to his family of him sleeping with his client, but it was fake. She took those pictures. So yeah, so he wound up giving her prescription. He was like, yeah, it might cause hair loss and this and that and the third, but you have to take it. She was like, what, I'm not sick. This is BS. And she wound up leaving. I think the mom of the guy that passed found out what happened, and she wound up slapping her when she left out of there, and the police came and they took her back to the psych ward. And then he wound up getting his family back together, and he wound up fixing everything between them. And the girl, the woman psychiatrist, is in jail. So, like I said, this movie is crazy because what I felt like it was really, like, it was getting to me. I'm like, wow, like, she is really going through all of this. Like, she got to my head. I'm like, because the way she acting and the whole time she was faking. I'm like, why? How? Why? Why? It was crazy. Because I was just like, wow, And I'm just thinking, like, maybe it's because, I feel like it's more of a message, though. It's more of a message towards those people going out to get medicine. I feel like y'all should play it really, really safe, because just how this woman was, or just how, how personal it can get between the client and the psychiatrist. If a psychiatrist or anybody prescribing you medicine feels some type of way about you, they can hold you in a psych ward. It can be hard for you to get out of there because they have to say so. Whatever they say goes. And they was just showing this other woman how she was all bound up in machines and stuff like that because they said she's still sick, she can't go anywhere. Even if you're getting better, no matter what you say, it's all about your doctor. And it just brought back memories of, I'm gonna bring this up, but when I was in the psych ward, I just started remembering that. Like, it took so much to get me out of there. I felt like I was getting better. I felt like it was all good, but it's on your doctor's consent to get you out of there, because if he don't want to get you out of there, if it's personal as well, he's going to let you stay in there. He can have you staying there for the rest of your life. No, I'm taking it too far. But he probably could, though, honestly. So yeah, it was just bringing back memories, because it's like you're around all these people that, your illness isn't as bad as theirs, and it's just like the more you stay in there, it's just like, how am I going to get better if you're still feeding me this poison? And that's what I was thinking. Like, I'm like, how is he still prescribing her medicine if he's, if they let him go from the company? But I guess since he still got his license as a doctor, he can still do that. But yeah, it was just so weird. I'm like, wow. And like I said, I was getting depressed because I remember being in that situation, and it's just like you against the doctor, You can think you be so anxious, honestly, just sitting there like, okay, the doctor saying you can get out, but then you wait and then it's just taking a toll on your mind. I thought I was going to get out, and you wait like 2-3 hours later, and you're still not out, and then, oh, you won't be released to the next morning, then you're waiting to the next morning, and you're still there. It's just like at any moment they can say no, at any moment, even if they say they release you, at any moment they can tell you no, and you'll still have to be there. So yeah, that movie brought back memories, and I just started getting depressed all over again. I'm like, wow, this could happen, honestly. But yeah, that's the message I got from it. So it's just like, You know, if you're getting on medicine and stuff like that, just always be aware of your situation, be aware of you. Like these, you know, don't make it personal, and that's towards any business out there. The one with the most power over the situation is like doctor against client, you know. So yeah, I'm receiving a call. I will. Hold on. So I am back. That was a call from the sister missionaries about church tomorrow. So yeah. um, but yeah, I think I'm about to go fix this chicken and wash these dishes. Like I said, he ain't eat his breakfast. I don't think he'll get no lunch. Did you finish your breakfast? You finish your breakfast? Did you finish your breakfast? It's wild here. You finish your breakfast?
Wow.
You finish your breakfast?
Look at Wawa's hair.
Your wild hair.
Wow, here.
I got his hair up in these, like I braided them, all his dreads into, for the weekends. I do that on the weekends and I just take his hair out on the weekdays. So yeah. Now I'm about to watch this movie. And I'm gonna go ahead and get dinner started. Maybe. I just heard that they said that we could fast. So I had my dinner. I had my lunch, I had my breakfast, and I might fast from dinner. So I might cook chicken for him, but I might not eat. So yeah, since it's a fast, every first of the month they fast, either breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and sacrifice my dinner. So that'll be my fasting for today. So yeah, I will talk to y'all next time, and bye. Before I go, I also want to talk about something. So, remember how I said in, I would say February 23rd, I'm supposed to be getting baptized. So they have these requirements, and it's like two of the requirements kind of caught me. No, just one. So the one requirement was coffee. I can't have coffee. They said I can't have tea, but I can't have herbal tea. They said that you can't drink, smoke, which, a duh. You can't have any type of substance that's not, outside substances. You can't have, any drug or those type of substances in your body. And those are the requirements of of baptism. But um, there's certain foods that you can and can't eat as well. But for now, yeah. So they was like, I don't know if I'm going to be ready. They asked me if I prayed about it and stuff like that. Um, I just put it in God's hand, and I said when that day comes, if I feel like there's a no or a yes, then, I'll tell you when that time comes. And that's all I said about it. But yeah, it just was like, wow, none of these things. None of these things. But like I said, I already knew that any type of smoking or drinking you can't do, but like the coffee, that kind of caught me off guard because it's just like that's my go-to. But yeah, it's certain caffeine products that we can take, like soda and stuff like that, but we are not allowed to have coffee. So yeah. um. So I'm still kind of on edge about that. I don't know. Like I said, I want to be baptized, and up until then, it was a go for me. But now it's just like yellow, blinking yellow. Caution, caution, caution. I might not. So, I don't know. Like they said, I'm going to pray about it and continue to just go about my life, and whatever comes to me, comes to me. So, yeah. With that being said, I'm going to go. I'm going to get out of here. Like, comment, subscribe, be notified, share at your own free will to show you care. Bye. Okay, so this might not be as short as I thought it was, so I'm going to go ahead and talk about it. So the fact that they said there will be sacrifices that will have to be made, I told them that, well, I've already sacrificed so much, in regards to giving up smoking, giving up smoking cigarettes, and giving up, well, I didn't really have no choice on the medication that I took 3 years ago. I'll say 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I used to take some medication, but I'm not taking those anymore. So it's like, I feel like life unravels on its own, and, I have already been brought to this point where if it's for me to do, I just feel like it will be done. And the fact that, since maybe God has been preparing me for this whole time and I didn't know because, um, since it's being brought to my attention and I'm basically at the end of my journey because I have given up so much and I'm basically at my last straw. So it's just like, you know, I felt like it was more so of complaining about it. Like, oh man, I already gave up so much. Now I got to give it all up, including coffee. What if that was my last go-to? You got to give up something and then you got coffee. If I don't go to anything else, coffee. Coffee. Man, like, so yeah, so that's what she was talking about, how, Christ wants us to give it all to him, so including coffee. So yeah, but I did explain that to them, and I just basically laid everything down because I was just like, I just went through, I just did that, and now coffee? You taking that away from me too? But in a way, you can see God as your cup of coffee, and that's all God wants you to do is basically give it all up to God, and even that little bit, that's what God wants you to see is I can be that. What you're so hesitant on giving me, that's exactly what I need to draw you in. So yeah. So with that being said, that is all. I promise you, that's all. That's all. Okay, so yeah, that's just something I would have to think about. I had to get, my new look on to actually talk about this because it was just that serious, and I don't know how long I was going to be talking. I'm like, you know what, let me just get made up for the moment and throw on some earrings, darken my eyeliner and throw on some lipstick because I just don't know. I just didn't know how long I was going to be on here. And yeah, so that's how you know it was serious. At least it's serious for me. So yeah, I will talk to y'all next time. Like, comment, subscribe, be notified, share at your own free will to show you care. And that is all.